Happy Wednesday, North America. Episode 106, which is appropriate because in Not Mutchinson, Kansas right now, it is 106 degrees.
106.
Yep.
Wow, it's hot.
Yeah, it's 109 on Sunday, and it's been right there since Sunday.
It's hot. It's been a dry heat though,
Yeah,
kind of.
it is amazing how quickly your yard can go from needing mowed every 3 days to crunchy.
Yeah.
Jack Graves in the house already. He is
What's up,
stoked and
Jack?
ready to go.
Nice. Yeah, I would. My weeds are not all crunchy. I wish it would be either all or nothing because half of it is crunchy and half of it is tall enough that I am going to have to mow tomorrow. And I was really hoping I probably wouldn't have to, but I will.
Well, I I'm not thankful for the short day today, but I'm thankful for the short day because it hasn't rained in so long here. Our normal 10-hour day, it took about 6.5
Yeah.
because there wasn't anything to do. So we haven't been on for a while, guys. Couple of weeks. Last time we were on, you were in your boat in Minnesota,
I was.
and it was hot there.
It was warm there. It's a little hot. Had a good time though, man. I think we need to get up there on a idle zone trip or something.
I like that idea, especially having a year-ish to plan it.
Yeah.
And get ready. And Matt's here. Zach Burgee, yeah, he would be a good guest.
We've tried to get Zach Burge on, and I really can't get him to respond much. So if anybody can get him to respond to us, we'll have him on.
And to be truthful, guys, when we have a special guest like that during the season, that's a bonus.
That's rare. Yeah.
It's bonus. I mean, they talk about it being content season at the end of August, starting the end of August.
Yeah.
When all the major tours are pretty much wrapped up and guys are thinking about the tree stand and golfing and not fishing. So,
yep. But speaking of Zach Burge, congratulations to him on the AOI title for the BPT. That was pretty cool to see. I'm happy for him. I hope. I just have one issue with Zach Burge.
The mustache?
No. I don't know who picked out his colors for his jersey and stuff. But I hope it's different next year. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, my. He's a local kid, isn't he?
I mean, I don't know if he's an OSU fan, but...
Well, he fished for OSU.
That may be where the orange comes from. And maybe the brown was a mistake by the printing company or whatever, or maybe he likes brown and orange, but I don't know. Hope it's his jersey that he had the year before was, I thought, better than this year's, but If you're AOI, you can wear whatever jersey you want.
That's right.
I don't think it was the colors of his jersey that got him the AOI.
It was
He
that
had
mustache.
the mustache and the shades. He had one heck of a year. One heck of a year.
I ran into him years ago at the city ramp, Grove City Ramp, and he was fishing for OSU, Oklahoma State. Because our club was having our club championship that weekend, and they were having, well, it was an Oklahoma State club event. We were fishing the same spot, so we thought we should probably get to know each other a little bit. And we didn't want to cut him off, and he didn't want to cut us off. And he was good night. That's been 20 years ago. He was super kid to visit with.
Yeah.
One of those super secret places, you know.
Yeah. He had a great year. That was an exciting. I don't know if anybody watched any of that tournament this weekend, but the Sunday was kind of anticlimactic. Justin Lucas kind of whooped everybody pretty bad. But it was good to see Justin win a tournament too. And the emotion that brought out in Justin was pretty cool to see. I like it. Just shows how much it means to these guys. It's not just all about the money. That was a weight off his shoulders, like he hadn't won in 6 years. A big event. So that was pretty cool. But the exciting day was Saturday. I don't know if anybody watched Saturday. And it was unfortunate that I think it was Marshall somebody. He didn't have a camera. He was in 15th place, and you had to be in the top 9 to make the final day. And they were focused on Dustin Connell because Dustin was on that bubble. He was on that 10-9, 10-9, battling out with Wesley Strader and Ott Defoe, and Dustin caught in the last 7 minutes, or in the last 2 minutes, Dustin caught like 7 pounds of fish. He caught like a 4-pounder in the last 2, like with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left. He caught a 4-pounder that bumped him up to like 8th place or 7th place. Got him in. That was the story. And then, so as they were talking to Dustin about him catching that last fish to get him in, they interrupted Dustin's interview, or how he was talking about how he was so relieved that he got in. They interrupted and said this Marshall, gosh, who was it, man? Had it on the tip of my tongue. Marshall somebody was in like 15th place, and in the last 7 minutes caught 16.5 pounds of fish.
Oh, wow. Oh, my.
4 fish. That's on 4 fish. We caught like 3 over 5 or 2 over 5 and 2 over 4 or something like that. Not over 4, 2, 1, 4 and a 3 or something like that. To move into like 5th place and bump Dustin down to 9th. Dustin got in, but he was thinking he was in like 6th or 7th. when he was doing his interview at the end, and they're like, he needed that fish because this Marshall guy just caught 16 pounds, and if wouldn't have caught that fish, he caught 2 fish in the last 4 minutes. Dustin did, and he needed that last one. He didn't think he needed that last one because the one moved him into like 8th, but he did need that last one because it kept him in 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty amazing. I wish they would have had a camera on that dude, because that was, and I don't know whether he was scoping or not. We were talking about my church group, my Tuesday morning coffee group was talking about it, and we were talking about, I was talking about how there is some luck to it, but trying to make these guys that don't tournament fish understand there is some luck to it, but experience, and experience tournament fishing and knowing what you're doing and being just another caliber angler uh, helps you with that luck.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to them that this kid was 12 pounds out behind the cut line, and if he was not using scope, that's a pretty amazing comeback. If he was using scope, I was explaining to them that he may have been on those fish for the last hour. Like with scope, he may have seen them fish for the last hour and been
Yeah.
trying to make them bite. And once he got one to bite, it ignited the school, and he caught 4. Bam, 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 bam. So I have a feeling he was using scope that last hour, but I don't know. I haven't looked. Maybe he wasn't. If he wasn't, that's even more amazing to me.
So you mentioned watching. I have a heck of a time figuring out when they are on what to actually watch. Is it just the live stream from the website?
Yes.
That you're talking about? Okay. So like they'll replay shows like on Discovery Channel. So I think at times, okay, if I go to Discovery, then I can see what's going on. And then I figured that out, that it was the live stream. I never could get the live stream to work for me. The times that I tried to on Saturday, on Sunday, I got on a couple of times and then it timed out or something. I'm like, okay. So
is it your internet, or because I never
actually,
had any problems?
both times I wasn't on our internet, so I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
then
have any issues watching the feed at all.
So Antonio Gomez in the comments there, John.
Go. How are you, Go? That was that was pretty exciting. What else is going on? I mean, the Bassmaster starts tomorrow. The Elites on Champlain.
Mm-hmm.
No
No
scope.
scope. Yeah.
No scope. So that should be interesting.
Now,
Should be.
when I made my picks with Chat GPT, I had to go ahead and prompt it that there was no scope, and that changed a few things.
Uh-huh.
It gave me a different lineup. So
Okay. Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to talk about the other stuff first and come back to it?
maybe we probably should talk about the BFL a little bit.
Probably talk about the BFL.
Because you talk about taking a can of worms and shaking it up and throwing it on the ground. Wow.
My feed was full of. My feed today was full of co-anglers looking for boaters.
Yes.
I think it was their way of saying this is BS. Like filling up the internet with co-anglers that are left out, I think was the. I don't think a lot of them were actually looking for, because I think they know the majority of guys that are going to fish are going to grab a buddy
Yes.
and go fish. They're not just going to.
That they probably already travel with anyway.
Yes. Right. Exactly. So my feed was full of that, and I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I mean, it clearly wasn't working what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly wasn't working what they were doing. You know, I've seen some posts about the payouts and all that stuff, that they're not going to be, if they're better, they're not going to be much better, which is probably true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't, because you got to pay for, so just a brief synopsis of people that, if you're under a rock and you haven't seen what happened today, BFLs went to a team format series, $500 entry fee. I noticed there was 20. They mentioned 20 divisions, and there's 24 right now. So there will be some rearranging of divisions, I'm thinking. It may not be this. If you're used to fishing the Okie division, it may be. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. There still may be an Okie division, but somewhere along the road they've got to combine some stuff. So there will be some divisions that are maybe a little bit spread out. The anglers of the year, the top 30 teams will advance to one of 5 All-Americans.
So they've renamed the regionals All-American.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 5 top 30 teams in a given division will go to a certain regional, not a regional, an All-American.
Per event, Steve.
Per event. Yeah, that's per event. The top prize is supposed to be like $22,000, but that includes a Phoenix incentive, which is $7,000 or something. So your top prize based on 150 will be 15 grand, I believe, somewhere around there, with a plus an incentive, Phoenix incentive, if you drive a Phoenix. Supposedly it's $10,000 on no matter what, how many boat, if they only get 100 boats, if they only get 75 boats, supposedly it's 10 grand. Well, that'll just chop into the lower payouts, you know. And then at the All Americans, the winning team, this is the way I understand it as I read it, the winning team, the boater will go to Redcrest, and the non-boater will go to the Toyota Series Championship. So
that's pretty cool.
When you're complaining about payouts, that has to be figured in. You can't just not figure that in. You can't just say, like Devin says, OMTT payouts are better. Okay, that is probably true. I don't know. I haven't read it. But the OMTT doesn't send you to an All-American, a free All-American where you don't pay an entry fee. And the OMTT doesn't allow you to make it to Redcrest, which is also free. So whether you want to or not, you have to figure that in as a part of the program, because it's part of the program. It's part of the deal that you're signing up for, paying your $500 entry, thinking me and my buddy might be able to just make it to an All-American and make it to the Redcrest. That's got to be figured in. You can't just not figure it in. I saw a couple posts. I saw a couple posts where guys were talking about the payouts and saying, there's 3 or 4 team trails that are better than this. Okay. If I fish the BFL team trail here at Grand, I don't expect to see you there because there's 3 or 4 team trails that are better than this one. Right?
Yep.
I mean, if you're, I'll just use Grand as an example, and I have no idea, Micah, what Micah and Andy think about this whole thing. They think it's great or not. I'm just using them because everybody knows Little Johns. But if they were to come on this show and say the BFL payouts are terrible, there's 4 team trails that are better than this, then I would expect not to see Micah and Andy fishing the BFL team trail here on Grand. But I'm pretty sure that they'll throw their money in.
Well, they're going to fish anything that's on Grand.
That's right. So
I don't mean to stop you with your thought there, but I was a tournament director for a little bit, nowhere near as long as you. When I started reading this announcement today, and then the sample payouts, I'm like, 250, 225. Does anything, I mean, I know Falcon probably does. Does anything on Grand, other than a high school event, draw 250 boats anymore?
Yeah, I mean the OMTT might have had over 200. There's 2 or 3 team trails that get over 200, I think. OMTT, Nichols, Marine Team Trail, Anglers in Action. Those all get close to, if not over 200. They're darn close to it. and with a higher entry fee and a higher pot, that could bump it up to 225. I don't think that's super unreasonable. I'm not sure if every division will get there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got that many boats. I don't know. We'll see. I think the bigger factor, and I alluded to it in my little note to you guys. I think the bigger factor, because it's a factor that I'm thinking about, whether or not I want to try this. Let's say me and Moody, I mean, we're having a decent year. We're fishing. We fish good together. We have a good time. Now next year we may not catch a dang fish, but this year we're having a pretty good year. And let's say he wanted to do it. I think the bigger factor is going to be the schedule and where these tournaments are for each division.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if they spread them out a little more than they are now, I know they want to stay close to home. But that's a double-edged sword. Staying close to home also, like I went back and looked at the Okie division today of the BFL.
Mm-hmm.
Local hammer won Grand. A local hammer won Eufaula. A local hammer won Muskogee. Micah Littlejohn won Grand. Chris Jones won Muskogee. I forget who won Eufaula, but it was a local guy. Which is going to happen.
Yeah.
But if the tournaments are spread out enough and you can go into it with the attitude, I'm trying to make the All-American. Yes, you're probably not going to win Grand. If it's me and Moody, we're probably not going to win Grand. We're probably not going to win Eufaula. We're probably not going to win Muskogee. But can we finish in the top 30? Because all those guys didn't go to, like Micah and them went to Eufaula, but I don't think they went to Muskogee. The local guys that just want to stay home and fish for the money, which is, if I was that good on local lakes, I would do the same exact thing. But they're not going to go to all 4 tournaments and maybe not make that All-American. But they might with the All-American as a carrot now.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to be part of the equation.
Yeah, I did the same thing. After I read that, and I was done for the day about the time that, well, I think I messaged you guys, I don't know, 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And I went back and I read it. I reread it, and then I looked at payout schedules. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to look at this year's schedule. I couldn't remember off the top of my head because I used to fish Ozark division. So I went to it, and it was like Lake of the O 3 times and Table Rock twice.
Yeah. That's not going to work.
That doesn't work. So, I mean, it used to be something like, Truman was on there. Mark Twain was on there.
Yeah.
Even Stockton once in a while was on there. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think if you dangle this carrot and make these guys go out and not focused on winning, but focused on just making the next step. We got to stay in the top 30 to make the next step.
I almost wish they would mix it up. Like, how far is Eufaula from here? It's a couple hours, 2.5 hours. Guess what? Truman and Lake of the Ozarks are also 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather, this will never happen, but I would rather, instead of having like an Okie where it's Grand, Muskogee, and Eufaula, I'd like to mix the two and have a Eufaula, Grand, Lake of the Ozarks,
Mm-hmm.
Table Rock, Muskogee, Eufaula.
Yeah.
Mix it up to where, some of these guys that are comfortable on Stockton and Palmy and Lake of the Ozarks aren't comfortable on Grand, and Eufaula have to come fish Grand and Eufaula, and vice versa. And it's not that much farther.
It's really not. Devin, I don't know how many they averaged.
It wasn't very many this year.
There was some. I think there were a few, or don't want to say a few, but at least a couple I remember that didn't even hit 80. That's crazy.
I looked at the payouts today, and the Grand, I want to say they were all over 100 though.
Yeah, I'm talking like
there were some that weren't.
Ozark.
Like there were some, yeah. I don't know. We can look it up.
Oh, hey, I should probably mention that since we have Gene Gilliland on the title of the show, Gene is still traveling to Champlain. So he was hoping to get to a point in his travels tonight that he could pull over and visit with us a few minutes. So if that happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, we will have him on later on, down the road later this fall.
Yeah.
So, man, I remember BFLs with over 200 boats.
Mm-hmm.
I fished one that had, I want to say 218, but that, I don't know why that number stuck in my head. Could be 208, 218, 228. I don't know. But it was out of Red 11.
Oh, yeah.
And that was back in the day when it was pretty narrow one lane ramp and you had to drive your partner's strange tow vehicle around the end of the motel on that little bitty curved strip.
Yeah.
And up the hill, and you had one stab, and you better make it right.
It looks like Grand had right at 100 boats last year. So around 100 for those. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Oh, definitely. And of course, to get everyone's attention, I get it. I totally get it. To get everyone's attention with the announcement today, and then they're all doing the same thing we're doing. Well, let's wait and see what their schedule is. So then it got everybody dangling on the end of the line, waiting for the schedule.
I mean, I'll be honest. BFL's never really the way they've been the last few years did not interest me at all. This has my interest
Agreed.
peaked a little bit. A little bit. Probably not going to be able to do it because of the schedule. But I'll still look at it.
Hmm.
I didn't see that payout proposal. You said you saw something about a payouts, sample payouts or something.
Um,
I just saw the top prize.
oh, it was showing um, sample payouts on 150, 225, and 250. Maybe
I
it
mean,
was 150, 200, and 225. Maybe that's what it was.
like just first place or sample all the way down.
All the way down.
I didn't see that.
So that it might have been Tepley's post. Hey, look. See if I can pull this up and not kick us off of this screen. Tepley or Tepley or however you pronounce it.
Josh.
Yeah. Josh. Josh T
Yeah, JT.
from 10
Tell him
Kilograms.
JT. We should get Josh on.
My boss told me that the other day because he fishes with him once in a while. Crap. Well, it's not on his deal. Yeah, Devin, I saw the Ozark Team Trail comparison. Luke Routh posted it, and then Ackerson shared it, and Ragsdale shared it, and then I've seen other comparisons across the country from different buddy circuits. Well, crap. I'll have to dig that up. Maybe I'll post it in the comments.
Yeah. But again, I mean, you have to compare apples to apples.
Mm-hmm. True.
So you've got to include where you go from where do you go from the OMTT championship? Where do you go from the AOA Anglers in Action or Nichols championship? Where do you go?
And,
Nowhere. They don't even do the Bass Team Championship anymore. Those trails. OMTT might. OMTT might. But Nichols and Anglers in Action don't. And they used to. So you could at least say we qualified for the Bass Team National Championship, but you can't say that anymore
right.
on those trails.
Well, I think it's also a question. Are what are you fishing for? You know, I mean, to some guys, just fishing their local circuit with a good payout and being done at the end of the year, that's fine, and that's all they want to do. Others want that opportunity to advance, and
I'm fine with that. Let's just say that.
yeah, if
You know, if you just say, I'm going to fish this trail. The payout's not great, but it's on my local lake. I'm going to fish it because I think I can win.
mm-hmm,
Okay, that's
cool,
fine.
very interesting.
Yep. No,
Agreed.
that's
Totally
true.
agreed. Yeah, Devin, you're right. 100%. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Agreed. I remembered something today that 100 years ago in my youth, I had the opportunity. I worked for Rusty's Outdoor Sports,
No
and
Rusty's.
that was a sporting goods chain that at one time had 7 stores in Kansas, and I don't know how long ago. Honestly, the last one closed. It's probably been 15 years or better. But back in the day, Rusty's had a winter seminar series, and they were always at Century 2 in Wichita, and it'd be a tour name. I
Mhm.
saw like Larry Nixon and Guido Hibden and Shaw Grigsby and Gary Klein and Paul Elias, and those guys would spend an hour before the show with all us employees and after. And I think I was 21 at the time, 21, 22. And I'm talking to Larry Nixon, and I asked Larry Nixon, what is the number one thing you could advise me about what to fish and etc. And he said, a lot of guys will jackpot everything that comes to their local lake. But if you want to improve, fish something, fish a circuit, whatever, at the highest level you can comfortably afford. And I said comfortably afford, not scrape by
Mhm.
and afford. Fish the highest level you can comfortably afford and fish every single event separately and give it 100%.
Mhm.
That was amazing
Yep.
advice. I didn't listen to it back then, but I should have. I hear it now. I hear it now. Yeah, Steve LaRue's right. KVD, Denny Brower,
Yeah.
good stuff back then.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could comfortably afford to fish the opens, but I can't.
Speaking of bass, you guys all got your fantasy picks ready for tomorrow morning?
Uh,
Get or did. We're back to fishing, guys. We're back to fantasy time.
yeah. Let me get mine pulled up and let's see what we got here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty too. Uh,
We'll do pick 'em first.
sure. See what I got here. Okay, I'm ready.
Oh man.
Did you do Chat GPT on these two,
Well,
or did you
I
base it
guess
on your?
I guess technically I based it on my roster. I did go with some gut feeling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I've got Johnston.
Me too.
Number two, I've got the Schlapper.
Agree.
Number three even though Joey's pretty good with the brownies, I'm going with Cole Sands on this one.
Agree.
And
Me too.
that's a momentum thing. He's having a little better season this year.
He's having a great year.
Number 4, that was hard. I went with Brandon on that one.
I did not. I went with Brian Schmitty.
Number 5, I went with Taku.
I went with John Cox on that one.
Number 6. Boy, I didn't want to do this, but I did. I went with Chris Johnston.
I did too.
And then the last one, I went with the mustache.
Me too. I think, yeah. I think the only one we had different was the number 4. No, number 4 and 5. I think the rest of them we had the same.
Fantasy roster. We haven't been doing the Drain the Lake roster, have we?
Yeah.
Have we?
We've been doing it.
Well, let me go back to it.
Getting down to where you don't have a lot left.
No kidding.
So, you know, on my Drain the Lake, let me get back to the Drain the Lake. On my Drain the Lake, this week's roster was based a lot on who I wanted to have left for the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, it was. I went with Stetson Blaylock.
Well, you do your one, and then I'll do my one.
Okay.
I went with Greg DePalma.
Yeah. Bo Browning.
I went with Cooper Gallant.
Ike.
I went with Kyle Patrick.
However you pronounce his last name, Jagdfeld.
Yeah. I went with Brian Schmitty.
Paul Marks.
I went with Tucker Smith.
Oh. Perosnik.
I went Austin Felix.
Emil Wagner.
Mike Iaconelli.
Oh. And Gussie.
I went with Cole Sands.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of scopers left for the last one. A bunch of scopers left for the last one. Both Johnstons, Taku, Trey McKinney. This last tournament in Drain the Lake could be my best one of the year. Easton is left. We'll see. Probably could be my worst one of the year too.
Okay, what's your fantasy roster?
All right. Where are we at? Let me Where are we at in the standings? It's been so long since we looked. Oh, I
Mm,
dropped all the way down to fourth. My last couple tournaments were bombs.
you are in fourth. I am in seventh. Oh, Richard Fitzwater is in second. Jim
I know.
Vielhauer is winning.
Yeah. And that lady fish is the thorn in my side. She's like right ahead of me all year long. All right. Let me get back to my team here. All right. In bucket A, believe it or not, this was a really tough decision for me because I just don't know if if the little man's gonna hang in there. I don't know. But I picked him. Trey McKinney.
I took Corey.
Yeah. I don't know. That'll be interesting. Bucket B. Who you got?
Seth Fighter.
That's who I got. Seth Fighter. Your Chat GPT told you. Did you go with Chat GPT on Corey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who you got in bucket C then?
Brandon Polinick.
I went with Ike.
That's not a bad choice either.
I think it's his last opportunity to have a
At home.
at home and like going out with a bang. Because I'm not super confident on him on the scope deal. So this could be his swan song. Bucket D.
Kyle Patrick.
That's who I went with. Kyle Patrick. Bucket E.
Cooper Gallant.
Yeah, it was a struggle with me between Cooper and the one I went with, Greg DePalma.
What's the winning weight?
My winning weight is not much. 82.10.
Went even lower.
Mm.
I got 78.8.
I think it could be a little tough. They always amaze me, though. It'll probably be 100 pounds.
Oh, probably.
Probably be 100 pounds. What else we got going on? What else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
Something I've been meaning to do this. I'm going to circle back a couple of months ago when I asked you guys about sunglasses. And we talked, all different kinds and what you guys wore and stuff. And other guys commented what they were wearing. I just surfing around and I got to show these to both Kyles at the Stong. I found a company out of Florida that, pardon the expression, caught my eye. Fish 419 Performance. And that is Matthew 419.
Okay.
Whoop, there. Get it in the middle of the. But yeah,
Fish 419. Are they glass?
they are not glass.
Do they make glass?
I I I think there's a prescription. I don't need a prescription anymore. So I honestly I didn't pay attention. I haven't
I
looked.
don't either, but
You
I
prefer
have
glass.
I have every time I don't buy glass, I regret it and immediately tell myself I will never do that again.
I get it.
Because I'm so hard on them. I scratched the lenses get scratched and glass just hold up better.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I get it.
whatever the company, I like I've got a pair that I wear during the bright sunny, and then I've got my amber lens, kind of Zach Burge colored lenses that I wear only in the morning. He wears them all day long. I don't know how he does that because it almost makes it brighter when the sun comes up.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I can't do that, but um my amber ones that I put in the morning to make the run and to fish the first hour of the day are so scratched up that I've been meaning to buy another pair, but make them glass. But I'll check that company out to see if they make glass.
$49.99.
They look good.
Real light, real comfortable.
Yeah.
I wear them as much at work as anything.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's the other thing. Like I have a glass pair of brown lenses that I don't have on the boat. I have in my truck, and I wear them mowing and weed eating, and they get grass thrown all over them, and I just scrub them off, So that would be my only recommendation is if you can.
Aaron, you're talking about like a buddy trail, or are you talking about like a local club? Um, there's a couple of buddy trails right there because I think you're in Parsons or Parsons area. The trouble is most everything is at the end of their season now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and finishing up in September and October. Now some trails will fish their first event for next season like in November. What is it? Small Lakes of Southeast Kansas. Um, I think that's the name of the group. Guy's first name is Keenan.
Is
Um,
that the
that's not the Columbus.
is that the one Bo Burnine was? I saw he won a tournament or something.
That is another new little thing out of Wichita, Kansas Bass League. They do everything on paper.
Okay.
And they fish like, well, their next event's like Winfield City Lake.
Yeah.
They were at Lyon County last weekend. So they
I
fish a
think,
lot of.
yeah, there's not, like, if you're looking for, there's several clubs that do team trail, team event, like they fish as a team. Uh, South Seekers or Fort Scott Bass Club. Um, they're having their championship down here on Grand. I know this because they've been all calling all day today, booking rooms, which is good. I want to that they apparently as soon as they made the announcement, they all started calling, which is a good thing. I appreciate that. But I believe they fish as a team. Like you fish that club as a buddy. So that would be a trail. Um, in the kind of in the southeast Kansas area. I think they fish, like Big Hill, Bone Creek, uh, Fort Scott, Stockton, Pomme de Terre, Truman, those lakes there. So, um, there's
Oh,
probably
what's the one? Good night. I'm drawing a complete old man blank. We had the guy on the show about first of the year
oh yeah,
from Girard.
yeah. I
Had
think
the
that's the Small Lakes one you're talking about, isn't it?
well, I think it was a different like get or get bit
So
tournament series, something like that.
yeah, so Aaron, if you'll come to uh, the Albers or the Southeast Kansas um, sports show, boat show that's in January every year. Usually the Southeast Kansas stuff, teams, trails, whatever they got going for next year, will have flyers there. USA Bassin on Wilson State Lake Sunday, Small Lakes Division. Jess Murphy, eat 'em up
Yes,
fishing. That's
eat
it.
them up.
Yeah.
Yes. Jeez, I could not for the life of me
Yeah.
think of that. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yeah.
Got a
If
little.
you're that's if you're looking for team trails, I guess. I don't know. Is that a team trail?
I think so. I think that's a buddy deal. Yeah.
If you're not looking for team trail, um, there's an ABA division on Big Hill Lake. There's an ABA division at Stockton. There's an ABA division here at Grand Lake that I actually run. But again, we're at the end of the year. We'll have our first of the year tournament here on Grand in October. We're having our 2-day championship in September, and then we start back up in October. And USA Bass, and it has several team trails. Yeah, that's right, Richard.
Very cool. Glad you came out for that.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? I can tell everybody how much money we made or they made for the scholarship fund.
When the dust settled and the smoke cleared, we ended up with about 3,200 for the scholarship fund.
Very
So,
nice.
yeah, right about
Oh.
average.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be awesome to be able to award that. Of course, we decide all that at the fall meeting. Our champions that day were Kevin Miller and son Josh. Kevin's a longtime KBN angler from Augusta, Kansas, and now lives in Shell Knob with his wife. Josh is still in Wichita. The cornhole boards are just cool. That is really unique.
Yeah, those are neat.
Got some plaques provided by the Lake Lodge at Grand Lake of the Cherokees. The cornhole boards come from Express Tire in Emporia, John Ingold and Kathy Ingold, and Twin Rivers Bass Club out of Emporia.
Very cool.
Yeah, great day. I don't have many more of the pictures pulled up to throw up there, but Max Kister is the hot dog king.
He is. He did a great job.
He did an awesome job with the hot dogs and stuff. Oh, Moody thinks we need to start a Moody scholarship.
I agree. Because whatever Moody gets, maybe some of that will kind of slide over my way.
Richard, I posted the results last Sunday or Monday. So I'll bump them so you make sure you see them. There's in my post on with the pictures, Kevin and Josh are on the front. It's in that series of pictures was the final standings. I can't help but mention that we had a youth angler a couple of seasons ago. Young kid, totally innocent plan. He made a GoFundMe to sponsor his fishing. So I think Moody should do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Or cigar auctions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my brain's fried.
Yeah. This heat.
And it's amazing that I don't know about you guys, but out here in the desert, in the Pacific Northwest, that is Hutchinson, there's only 2 days out of the next 10 that's below 103. And those are the cold front days when it's only 95.
In the next 10 days?
In the next 10 days.
I was kind of hoping for a little bit cooler weather for the next tournament, but doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No kidding. I'm going to go ahead and say that Gene is not going to join us this evening. That's all right. Things happen.
We'll get
with live show.
Yeah, we'll get Gene on. We mainly wanted to have Gene on while it's hot to talk about fish care in the heat again. So it doesn't look like that's going away anytime soon. So we'll have him on. Let's see. Maybe we can have him on the next week that we're on, which will be during the Waddington event. I don't know if he's staying up there for both events or if he's coming home. I would imagine that he's staying up there. I know Pat went with him, so they're probably making it a vacation thing. So that'll mean he's already up there, I guess is what I'm getting at. So he won't be traveling. So maybe we can get him on during that last St. Lawrence event
Well, I'm I'm being a little selfish. Yes, anytime Gene can come on and tell us anything is awesome. But he hasn't dropped that bombshell yet. It's not a
No,
bombshell anymore. It's an eventuality. I mean, it's going to
yeah,
happen. He hasn't told us when it's going to happen, though.
I think it's going to happen probably at that last event. Probably why he went up there. I imagine they're going to have a little send off for him. I would imagine they've got something planned at St. Lawrence.
Well, let's hope so. They should.
I would hope so. They better. They better have.
What's the next thing on Grand?
The next thing that I'm probably involved in is, I mean, we've got some night tournaments. That's the other thing you could fish, Aaron, if you're looking for something to fish. There are night tournaments on Grand every Saturday night out of Wolf Creek or Red 11, one of the two. Where are we? We are here. Really, the next thing, I think the Future Bass Championship 2-dayer is September. Right before that, I've got a VFW tournament where they get a bunch of boaters and they take out some veterans. So that's first week of September after Labor Day. They do that, and then Future Bass, I think.
Yeah, Mark says second week of September.
Yeah, and then so there's that. That's the next. And then the Wednesday and Thursday after that is the ABA 2-dayer here on Grand. But that's not a whole lot going on other than the Saturday night tournaments here on Grand. Moody and I are going to the KBB on Mozingo. Not this weekend, but next weekend, which apparently is going to be hot. That's what you're telling me. So
I hope not, but
I mean, 10 days. You said the 10 days. It's like 11 days from now. So
maybe there will be an Arctic front on that 11th day.
Maybe. we can only pray for that. Pray for cooler weather, Moody.
Amen
and Kibby. I think Kibby's fishing that too.
Oh, come back and see us in 2 weeks, guys. Let's hope it's not still 106 degrees in 2 weeks. Yeah.
We can only hope.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll get Gene back on another time. Gene is he's almost part of the crew. He's been on 4 times, I believe.
Yep.
I think when we get him the next time, it'll be the 5th time. So, I mean, that's awesome. That's more than Moody.
What is that question on Mozingo? What is the penalty for fin clip? Never heard of it before. That's so when you put a cull tag on your. That's in a lot of rules, David. Fin clip penalty. If you put a cull tag on your fish, and you present it to weigh in to the weigh-in scale to be weighed, and there's a fin clip on your fish, there's a penalty. It's usually quarter pound or half a pound, something like that. That's what that is.
Guys, as always, thanks for watching. If you have a question and we don't get to it on the air, you can still comment the question below this video and we can come back and answer it.
Yep.
But always, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching us on YouTube and Kansas Bass Nation when it's live. Think cool thoughts.